sidelines are 2 players that were players of prominence, and they miss them for sure. They've got 2 others that are transfers that are sitting out. So next year's team could be quite a year for Michigan State.
Holmes hits. We're in the first half in Mackey Arena, where attendance this year for the ladies has averaged about 3,000. It was only 2 years ago that they averaged 500 people per game.
That's what a winner does for you, though, Chuck. And Lynn Dunn and this Boilermaker team are winners.
Off the leg of Gill, it's going to roll out of bounds. Michigan State will keep it. And here in the first half, a timeout is going to be called. It is an 8-4 Purdue lead. Lynn Dunn's happy.
Want an adjustable bed but don't think you can afford one? Then you haven't priced Craftmatic adjustable beds lately. Craftmatic Model 2 beds cost hundreds less than these quality flat beds. And this Craftmatic Model 3 is available at 50% of Craftmatic 2's low cost. 50%. Craftmatic Model 3 and 2 beds adjust to all these healthful positions and offer optional heat and massage, yet cost less than these quality flat beds. Get our free catalog by mail, including information on Craftmatic 3s at savings of 50% of Craftmatic 2's low cost.
Hello, I'd like to...
Has this ever happened to you? Don't tear that shirt into dust rags. Introducing DD7 Super All-Purpose Stain Remover. Remove that stain without a trace. Dilute and soak fabrics for a like-new whiteness. Imagine this is your laundry and a red sock turns everything pink. Or ink leaks from a pen. Iodine. Add DD7 to the final rinse and all is restored. Order DD7 today on this special TV offer for $14.95. Or save $10 and order 2 for $19.95. Now you see it, now you don't. Now call.
Purdue leads early in this game. The Spartans on the attack in this replay, and a look at a freshman.
Well, Eileen Shea brings the ball down and makes an excellent pass down to Sharon DeMayo. Sharon DeMayo must score for Michigan State if they're going to be competitive in this game, and she certainly looks good scoring the first 4 Michigan State points.
Only 6 seconds on the shot clock as we return for the Spartans, and that why Shea is going for it. Underneath, Wills gets it up, no good. Donna Gill, good defensive position for the Boilermakers.
Eileen Shea doesn't need more than 6 seconds, Chuck. She can take it down from anywhere in 6 seconds and put it up.
Joseph. We talked about her shooting prowess, but she also averages 5 assists per game and has the ability to penetrate and dish. Standing on the three-point line, she misses. So does Holmes, and a second try by Holmes widens the lead for the Boilermakers.
Joy Holmes is your prototype small forward. She's an outstanding athlete. She can penetrate, which is one of her greatest skills. She rebounds well. She jumps well. She's a fine number 3 or small forward.
Carlotta Taylor. Mayo is getting the ball without a lot of challenge, and she has a nice fadeaway jump shot that Mateen and friends are not going to be able to block.
Well, the Purdue defenders are playing behind her. She's 6'3", and she's able to shoot over them. And I'm looking for Lynn Dunn to get some help from her perimeter or begin to try to deny the ball more to Mayo.
Holmes makes it 12-6 Purdue, and she has a half dozen.
That's vintage Holmes, I might add. That penetration drive is the thing that she does best. She's just so quick.
One of our more flattering camera shots of the year. Joy Holmes in the preseason received more preseason all Big Ten votes this year than any other player in the conference.
Well, she was a bona fide first-team all Big Ten player last year, and certainly by today's game, she's worthy of that.
Wills misses, rebound though to Shea, and there goes Sporthouse. Red, as they call her, missing to Mateen.
Carol Madsen's one of the tallest point guards you'll see play at 6 feet. She's an outstanding perimeter scorer. You don't usually see point guards in women's basketball that size.
And only a freshman, Carol Madsen, from Reading, Ohio. Mateen tries and draws the foul.
Well, Lynn Dunn wants to establish her inside game. I think Karen Langland's done a good job of establishing hers, but it's very important for Rhonda Mateen to get her rhythm, get the ball, and get the shot up. You can see that she had little room to make her pivot because Shea rotated over to give help, but she's strong enough to take the ball up in a crowd.
She was a starter last year, but in the preseason, she crossed the line. She violated Lynn Dunn's personal conduct and academic code, and that's all the detail that was ever publicized. And here's how Dunn worked it. With these orders, she said, you may continue to practice with the team, but you have to bring your own practice uniform. You may not wear the school colors, and you have to do your own laundry.
Well, Chuck, that's a real tribute to Lynn Dunn, because representing a college on an athletic team is a privilege, and it's something that you earn every day on and off the court.
And Mateen acknowledges all that. She's happy to be back. She is in good graces with the coach, and her team has more than doubled the score on Michigan State as Carlotta Taylor cuts it down. Taylor is primarily in a defensive role for Michigan State.
But she can score, too. She had 17 points against Notre Dame. She can rebound. She had 6 of those against Iowa.
There goes Joseph. Nice dish underneath. Mateen on the first try can't get it, and is fouled on the second.
Those little chip shots or power shots like Mateen just missed are shots that she needs to put down with consistency. She's got the step to the basket, and you can see that little pump fake drew the foul on Carlotta Taylor. Every good post player uses a pump fake.
Into the game for Purdue is number 45, Jane Calhoun. She's under the basket right now and replacing Donna Gill. Purdue has a half dozen post players. Holmes misses. Up with it is Wills for the Spartans.
Well, Michigan State doesn't have that kind of depth. It may be the difference in the late first half and the late second half, because they're going to look for Schwartout and Mayo to play a lot of minutes today.
Just under 13 minutes left in the first half, and an offensive foul is going to be called against number 31, Shea. Purdue leads Michigan State 13-8. Purdue is coming off a victory Friday here in Mackey when it steamrolled Michigan by 24, while Michigan State in Champaign was losing to Illinois by 5.
This Michigan State team uses a lot of screens in their offense, and a point of emphasis by our officials this year is that those screens be perfectly stationary. That time Shea was called for moving or leaning in on her pick, and it's something that the officials are watching.
As the pass was on its way, offensively, Mateen hooked the woman who was guarding her, Sharonda Mayo. It's an offensive foul and a turnover to Michigan State.
I don't think Lynn Dunn cared just a whole lot for this, because every good offensive player is taught to use her off arm to hold or know where the defensive player is. And you'll see that Mateen was tracking Mayo with her left arm, feeling where she was. She was called for the push, however, by Bill Stokes.
Number 23 is Marie Williams in the green of Michigan State, a 5'8" sophomore out of Flint. So she is in and in the backcourt with Taylor, who tried to pass to Williams, but could hardly see tiny little Marie under there, and the Boilers pick it off.
Tiny is sort of a way to look at this Michigan State team. They're not a real big team, Chuck. They're athletic, and they're awfully well coached, but this Purdue team has a significant height advantage today.
And trying to take advantage of it there with the pass to Mateen at 6'3".
That has to bring a smile to Lynn Dunn, because that was a power move.
Turnover to Purdue right through the hands of Marie Williams, and a timeout is going to be called. Purdue ranks 10th in the nation. The AP top 2 this week, Louisiana Tech and Stanford.
Get ready for a special Sports Illustrated sneak preview.
It's unreal. The man, it's like he's from another planet.
You never know what he's going to do. He doesn't even know. He just does it, and you're like,
Duh. They just saw an amazing video cassette presented by Sports Illustrated, starring the most exciting figure in sports today.
Who else? Jordan.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Michael Jordan, Come Fly With Me 1990. Over 40 minutes of the game's ultimate playmaker. Yours free with your paid subscription to SI.
Yes!
Call toll-free and get 26 issues of SI at over 45% off the cover price.
I didn't realize you could save that much.
Including SI's blockbuster baseball preview, the giant 35th anniversary covers issue, and the red hot swimsuit issue.
so what's the catch?
No catch. You get it all for just 3 monthly installments of $12.97 each. Even use your credit card.
Golden. Let's do it.
Save over 45% and get the Jordan video free.
You're going to be giving away a lot of these babies starting right here.
ESPN gives you a spectacular courtside view of Big Monday, slam-jammed with color and excitement. Check out the sparkling sights and sounds of electrifying shootouts all season long.
What a big basket! Oh, what a move! Welcome to college basketball Big Monday.
Seton Hall tries for their first win ever against Syracuse at the Dome. Then Northwestern battles Purdue on Big Monday, live on ESPN.
Chuck Underwood and Norlin Finch from Mackey Arena on the campus of Purdue.
As we look at Carlotta Taylor dribbling against this pressure Purdue defense, we see her trying to pass over it. And here is another steal by Joy Holmes. This pressure defense from Purdue forces turnovers, and they convert those into offense. And you'll see that there are 8 Purdue points out of their 15 that have come off those turnovers.
15-8 the count, 11:55 left in the first half.
Michigan State is showing us some zone defense now. They're looking to take away the inside game that Purdue has successfully done by taking the ball into Mateen.
With the ball, Terry Morin just into the game for Purdue, running the point. Good role player for Lynn Dunn. And to either side of her, she has 2 terrific talents to pass to. There's one of them, in and out by Joseph. Jane Calhoun outreaches the Spartans, forces it up, tips it to Mateen, and Purdue is controlling the boards. 5 points for Mateen.
The height advantage was very evident on the boards that time as Purdue out-rebounded Michigan State by both position and height.
Now at the other end, can Swarthout get Purdue off balance defensively, and she does draw the foul. And that's a good strategy against height, is to outrun it.
Well, it certainly is. Cherry Swarthout is capable of penetrating as she takes the ball into the lane. She's just so hard-nosed. Even though her shot was blocked, she got it back and just kept coming at the Purdue defense.
But trouble at the free throw line. Michigan State is the worst in the Big Ten at the moment. And their percentage is also Swarthout's percentage, 55. Not good. She gets the first one, though.
Cherry Swarthout had a knee injury in February of last year. Most players wouldn't be playing in this game today, but she has such a hard work ethic. She's made her rehab. She's back in here playing, and that's a real tribute to her.
Yeah, don't be misled by that heavy brace on her right leg. She says she's fine.
Somehow I have a feeling she would think she was fine as long as she's alive. She's just got that kind of enthusiasm and work.
Well, the enthusiasm is thick here at Purdue basketball. As Mateen goes up, nice position, good pass from the corner. Purdue is working it well. 7 for Mateen. It's 19-10 in favor of a school that 3 years ago had what is considered the 13th highest ranked recruiting class. Last year, the 3rd ranked, or 2 years ago, pardon me, and then last year, which is to say the current freshman class, the number 1 group of 5 in the nation as Swarthout goes down and is fouled by Calhoun.
One of the things that's so interesting to watch about Swarthout is that she will take the perimeter shot if the defense is too far off her. But if you come out to defend her, she'll penetrate to the basket. Most power forwards don't have that ability. She doesn't mind going all the way into the basket as she did here, taking it all the way into the paint.
Joy Holmes leaves the game for Purdue. And in comes Stacy Kryza.
Well, with those great recruiting classes that Lynn Dunn's had, she's got depth, and she uses it. She'll play 10 or 11 players a game.
Kryza has started for, averages 4 points a game. And here is Swarthout. Probably with that bad knee, she would be unable to do today what she did 4 years ago as a junior in high school when she long jumped farther than any girl in the state of Michigan to win the state championship. Nearly 18 feet.
Wow.
7-point game. Purdue has led pretty much from the opening tip. We're down to 10:20 of this, the first half.
Well, Michigan State now is back in its player-to-player defense. They're going to mix it up in hopes of catching Purdue in some transition.
Calhoun comes out, more comfortable underneath. Kryza. Morin had posted nicely and gets a reach-in foul on Marie Williams.
Both of these two teams have excellent offenses where they will screen away from the ball and cut into it. Very nice baseline cut by Purdue and a good look inside. Lynn Dunn has worked really hard in the last 2 weeks to try to get the ball into the paint.
Calhoun out, and back in is Gill, who takes the inbounds pass and is clobbered as the pass arrives on Carlotta Taylor. And now the fouls are starting to match the turnovers lopsidedly against Michigan State.
Well, Gill has a height advantage, and in this inbounds play, Joseph lobs the ball over the Michigan State defense to Gill, and Gill is so strong she can just take it up in a crowd. She can take you with it. She is really a strong gal.
Morin's pass is too strong, way over the head of Joseph. Turnover to Michigan State. As you look at third-year coach Lynn Dunn, spent 9 years prior to this assignment at the University of Miami. 1 year at Mississippi and began her head coaching career at Austin Peay. Swarthout again is driving aggressively this game. The shot is a bit too aggressive. Mayo follows up, gets underneath the border, but it's no good. And the foul is called as Pryza comes down with the ball, and it again is going to go against the Spartans. And it will be Swarthout, number 41.
When you have a height disadvantage, as Michigan State does today, you tend to have to make up for it in your aggressive play. Unfortunately for Michigan State, some of their aggression is translating into some foul difficulty.
9:42 in the first half. There's the woman who has a school record at Purdue for three-pointers in one game. Carol Madsen hit 5 earlier this year. As you see, Holmes return and replace Joseph, who gets her first rest of the afternoon.
Lynn Dunn is coaching every opportunity that she can. She has a young team, and she's looking to teach every minute of every day. She only has 1 senior on this team, 6 freshmen.
Swarthout guarded by Gill. There's Mayo, who's done a nice job of posting. Backdoor play that gets cut off by a good Purdue defense. 8 seconds on the 30-second shot clock. Taylor again finds Mayo in the paint. 8 points for Mayo, the freshman, who that's her game average.
That's the first time that she's gotten the pass from her perimeter now in 4 or 5 minutes, and she's really doing a fine job inside.
Donna Gill to Madsen, always looking underneath. As soon as they receive the pass, they look for a teammate close by. Gill, good post. Short with the shot, and nice box out by Swarthout of the Spartans.
That's that work ethic again. Every good worker boxes out after every shot. Swarthout just did what she's supposed to do fundamentally.
Talked with Lynn Dunn about her recruiting, and she recruits primarily the Midwest, but she said Indiana high school basketball is very popular for 2 reasons. One of them is the work ethic in Indiana high school girls basketball. And she said the other is Indiana seems to produce a lot of smart people who know how to role play. And she said college coaches like that, as Carlotta Taylor gets points 3 and 4 for herself, and Michigan State has clawed back to within 3 at about the 8-minute mark of the first half.
Well, Chuck, I applaud Lynn Dunn for recruiting close to home. Indiana, Ohio, even Michigan are very fine teams. They're very fine states, and so she's smart to stay close to home.
Pryza hits.
As a matter of fact, if you look at where her players are from, 7 are from Indiana, 4 are from Ohio. There's no need for her to go far when you've got that kind of quality.
Carlotta Taylor loses it. Has a chance to get it back, but it rolls underneath, and diving is Pryza. And a timeout is going to be called here in Mackey, after which we'll have a couple of substitutes. It is 10th-ranked Purdue against Michigan State.
Stay tuned. The following is an exclusive offer for Warner Cable viewers. Race fast. It's the U.S. Autobahn Camel Mud and Monster Truck Racing Championships. Riverfront Coliseum. Saturday and Sunday, March 3rd and 4th. Supercharged mud racing, 20 cars. High-flying Monster Truck Racing. Buy now and save $5 off the adult ticket price by buying before February 12th. All seats just $10 through this special Warner Cable offer. Tickets now. The Riverfront Coliseum box office and all ticket trial locations. Or call Teletron to charge tickets by phone. Riverfront Coliseum will rock, 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 rock.
Some puppets walk without strings, think for themselves, and kill just for fun. Pinhead. Blade. Ms. Leach. Jester. Tunneler. A box of little toys is now a gang of little terrors, thanks to the Puppet Master. Beware the deadly creations of the Puppet Master on Viewer's Choice.
Users of ordinary nasal sprays will do almost anything to keep the spray up in their nose, where it can work. Which is why so many people now use Sinex Ultrafine Mist. It's twice as fine as ordinary sprays, so its medicine goes up and stays up to give you the best relief possible. You don't have to stand on your head to get relief. Just get Sinex Ultrafine Mist.
You are looking at the reigning Big Ten Coach of the Year, who just might keep the award for another season. Lynn Dunn is going to be in addition, coaching this coming summer in Malaysia, the U.S. national women's team. That will be in the World Championships in July, and then she'll stay with that same team and coach it in the Goodwill Games in Seattle in August. Nice feather in the cap. She says it does improve her coaching this summer work. Right now, her Boilermakers lead by 5. Michigan State hanging in there, but having trouble with its backcourt, not getting a handle. Underneath, Mayo, number 42, has been a bit of a heroine in this first half.
Well, Mayo is an important, very important cog in this wheel of the Michigan State offense. She's averaging only 7.5 points a game. She's capable of scoring 17. She's slender. As you see, she's sort of slight in build. She needs to get in the weight room. Remember how young she is. She's just a freshman, and it generally takes taller players longer to develop physically or later than it does for the shorter players. And, you know, with her body build, she's going to be a wiry and strong player. She's in the weight room.
Well, she is the stuff of all Big Ten today. She has 10 of her team's 18 points in the first half, and her Spartans still need 3.
Well, Michigan State is showing us a 2-3 zone again, trying to keep the ball out of the paint because Purdue has successfully worked the ball inside. Forced the turnover.
Joseph misses Madsen, or rather Mateen it was with the pass.
But look at this pressure defense by Purdue. They made it very difficult to make the inbounds pass.
How many different styles of full court press did you say Lynn Dunn uses?
Well, she uses 2 different man-to-man. One is just a pressure full court. The other is a run and jump, and she uses at least 3 different zones: a 1-2-1-1, a 2-2-1, and a triangle that flexes and plays safety in the back. She's a very versatile defensive coach.
There's a rundown on some of the lexicon of this sport. Turnover at the other end was by Swarthouse.
A lexicon? Impressive.
There is impressive. Michelle Joseph. Playing today, we might add, with a black eye. If she gets to shoot a free throw, we might get a shot of it. Her own teammate got her in practice. Swarthouse too strong, misses the bunny. Out comes Joseph. Defense is set, and she recognizes it. As a freshman last year, when she was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year and second team All Big Ten, her one shortcoming was her inability to recognize situations. Gets it. Hits from outside the arc. She has 5. The lead for the Boilermakers is 6.
Well, she was named Miss Basketball in Ohio last year because of that outstanding perimeter shot. She has range. She can really put it up from the outside. You know, in the last 3 games, she's 17 of 31 from the 3-point range. She's the best in the Big Ten from there.
Mateen blocks, but also fouls Dana Walker, 6'1" sophomore, number 24, just into the game for Karen Langland.
Dana was a Proposition 48 student athlete last year, so she's really playing her first year. She can penetrate, she can take the ball up. She wasn't intimidated by Mateen's height at all, taking the shot right into Mateen.
Yet Langland says that Walker is an outstanding player with the ability to start, but because she sat out her freshman year, she's still learning college basketball.
Sitting out that year is tough. You sort of lose your rhythm. You're unable to practice with the team. You can't lift weights with the team. You're studying, which is the positive point, but you don't develop any team chemistry, and so that's what she's doing this first year. She's trying to get back into sync. Look at her build. What a great athletic build.
Priza in for Purdue before this second free throw. Good offensive fighting, and a jump is called, and it will go back to the left. The Spartans will keep it.
Well, Mayo is fighting for everything inside. She's only 6'1", but she's quick, and she's using that quickness right now against the height that Purdue has inside.
Swarthouse looks underneath, but has to come out to Carlotta Taylor. Walker loses it. Doesn't have the hands. Up with it, Priza. And a good steal right back by Walker. Redeems herself quickly. 5:45 left in the first half. 5-point Purdue lead.
Carlotta Taylor and Mayo need to thank Dana Walker for saving them and helping them look good there.
It's Walker. Swarthouse, the team's attacker. Madsen has her hands full defensively with her. Walker off balance, just tosses it up wildly over Priza. Here's the outlet pass to Joseph. Back is Taylor. One-on-one stuff. The defense wins that one. Holmes bobbles, loses it. And now a 3-on-2 the other direction. Will Williams stop? Swarthouse will. Mayo, my goodness, showing confidence you don't normally see in a rookie.
No, but she's played an awful lot as a freshman. She had to step in and just start right off the bat. So she's got some experience. She's probably playing a little more like a sophomore now.
Gill sloppy on the pass to Joseph. Spartans with another opportunity.
And you see that Purdue is staying in their player defense. And this time, the foul is being called on Carol Madsen because she went through the screen that was being set. If the defensive player stops and doesn't keep going through, generally she's not called for a foul. But this time, Madsen puts her shoulder down, goes through the screen, knocks her to the ground, and she's called for the foul.
First foul, there's Eileen Shea, who is returning the game. She was just pulled back for some final instruction from Langland.
Well, she's probably got the rest that she had because of that bronchitis she's been suffering from. They need her in the lineup.
And they need now 5 points.
I was watching
you're losing
Purdue.
a lot when you take Shea out.
Because she's just their most complete player, their most consistent scorer, and you would like to have her in the game.
Number 31 might win 7 most valuable player trophies in 8 years. She was a 4-for-4 sweep through high school, missed it at Michigan State her freshman year, but won it last year as a sophomore, and is leading the team in scoring again this year, as again Michigan State now has Purdue into a bit of a run on personal fouls.
Add to Eileen Shea's honors that she's also an academic All-Big Ten athlete.
Second foul on Madsen. So here is the woman her teammates call red for obvious reasons.
Very good pivot by Cherry Swartout. She's strong for her size. She's only 5'11". She's a junior, and she came from the smallest size high school basketball that is played in Michigan. Karen Langland said she took a little bit of a chance on recruiting her because she didn't have a lot of good competition in high school, but her work ethic has made up for that lack of high school competition.
The girls in Michigan have 4 different divisions, A through D. And Indiana, of course, with its celebrated one-class system.
We do remember the movie Hoosiers, in which the world was educated on that very point.
Yep. If there is a state worthy of a basketball movie from Hollywood, it is the state of Indiana. Missed opportunity for Purdue. Clock is at 4:09 of the first half, and Michigan State is showing a lot of pluck. They came in having lost 3 in a row, taking on the Big Ten leader, which had won 4 in a row. Marie Williams misses to Gill. And Eileen Shea trying to catch up to Joseph, who protects the ball well with her body.
Michigan State was trapped because its guard was down on the baseline taking the shot, and it left only one guard back for defensive balance. Purdue is going to run any opportunity that they have. Excellent outlet pass down to Joseph, and Joseph can take it from coast to coast.
What she's doing this year so well, Norlin, is not being restless with her scoring. She has, for example, just 4 points today on an average of 24, but she's not forcing anything. Her team's going to get the ball following a turnover and following a break. We will return to Mackey Arena.
Fitness Quest presents Charlene Tilton.
I work hard to stay fit, and I love it. So I'm glad I discovered this lean, mean sit-up machine, the Abdominizer, that lets you rock your way to a firmer stomach in just minutes a day. The patented Abdominizer creates an automatic pelvic tilt that targets stomach muscles while cushioning the tailbone and lower back. It's as close as science has come to the perfect sit-up for upper abdominals. Knees in like this works lower abdominals, and this built-in rocker mechanism even gets those hard-to-work lateral obliques. The Abdominizer really works for me, and it can work for you too. So if you're serious about your stomach, call toll-free now.
To order your Abdominizer, call 1-800-752-7900. Use your credit card to avoid COD charges, or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling to Abdominizer. Department 109, Canton, Ohio. That's 1-800-752-7900.
Call now and you can have 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal and this valuable 120-page guide to understanding money and markets. That's 13 weeks of the Journal for the news and ideas you need every business day. And this guide free, which tells you everything you want to know about money and markets, now for only $34. Call toll-free 800-832-8700. Today's Wall Street Journal. Faster, tougher, smarter. Call 800-832-8700 now.
Here in the dead of winter in the great Midwest, you are looking at what is beach day for the Little Lady Boiler Club. First graders through 8th graders only. Front row seats, actually just a foot or two below this elevated floor. And it is becoming a popular type of promotion for women's basketball, hooking the young girls and getting them excited about the sport.
It's very important for these young girls to see these outstanding collegiate players, to have them as role models. And television is an important thing, too. I used to think that Cheryl Miller was a fantasy. She could have been Snow White. I never saw her play. So because she was on the West Coast and I was on the East Coast, who knows if she was the best player in the country.
Joseph misses, tie-up called, Purdue ball. It stays at that end.
I applaud Lynn Dunn and the administration here at Purdue for this Little Lady Boiler Club. I think it's great.
And there's a Junior Spartan fan club in East Lansing.
Well, Karen Langland has done a terrific job in Michigan to develop not just the little following, but also her Fast Break Club, which is an adult booster group. They have over 200 regular members.
Warren misses. Joseph gets the ball back. Nice feed to Gill. Nice break by Donna Gill. Got the pass on the move. She has 4. The Purdue lead is 8. We're under 3 minutes in the first.
While you can say that the post defense was caught in transition, I would have to say that unless the guard is able to put some pressure on Joseph, the post is going to be unable to stop that kind of pass.
Swarthout tries to hand off to Walker, and it's accomplished, although a bit roughly. And there is Shea, 16 points a game, Michigan State's leading scorer, and there is Joseph, the spiritual leader of Purdue. And that's just a day in the life for the quintessential gym rat. Quick story on Michelle Joseph. She and the team flew back from a game in Utah on a Sunday. They got in very late Sunday night and just dragged themselves into the locker to dump their clothes, all except for Michelle Joseph. Michelle Joseph got dressed, went out and shot. They regularly have to kick her out of the gym just so the custodial crew can turn off the lights and go home. And they also know that they have to check, if not the playing floor, the video room, where she'll lock herself in and watch game tapes.
That's a coach's player if I ever heard it. With that kicked ball, the clock was reset, and it's interesting that it was to Purdue's advantage that that shot clock had gotten down so low. But this pressure defense by Purdue is beginning to cause some ball handling problems for Michigan State. Unless they're able to set some screens to get open, they're going to mishandle more of these passes because this pressure is very tight.
Yep. Keep in mind, you're looking at those old gold and black uniforms of the 10th ranked team in the country, which against teams that are currently ranked in the top 25 is 4-2. Joseph, 3 points.
Against the zone defense, the Purdue offense is just passing the ball from one side of the court to the other, and that zone is having to just shift about 10 feet from just sprinting from point to point. And with the perimeter shooters that Purdue has in the game, they can stay behind the three-point arc and just score from there, as Joseph did.
Marie Williams misses to teammate Eileen Shea. Tries to dribble out of trouble and can't, so decides, well, I might as well attempt to score. Good fight by Swarthout. She is a stallion underneath there today, just playing a ferocious lane game for the Spartans, and a large part of the reason that they're within 9. She has 7.
Shea appears just a little bit fatigued. You have to think it's from that flu and bronchitis that she had. She's not yet on track for Michigan State. If she can get going in the second half, she could really cut into that lead pretty quickly.
Joseph, however, quite healthy, thank you. Gill is blocked and is fouled by number 40, Claudia Wilson, the 6'1" junior out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Such smart offense by Joseph. She scored on a 3-point shot on the last series. So this time when the defense came out to defend her, she just went past the defender on the dribble, penetrated in, made an excellent pass in to Gill. Gill is just about as strong as any woman you'll see playing basketball. She can fire a 2-hand overhead pass the length of the court. Lynn Dunn said, if that won't help you run, nothing will.
Well, you're looking at a lady who pretty much feels she has conquered sport. In high school, her team was the state champion in volleyball and in basketball, and she won the state championship in the shot put, as the tie-up is called. And now we go to the Michigan State end.
I have to wonder what kind of defense Ohio State played on Donna Gill, because she attempted no shots against Ohio State. And it's obvious from how she's done today, Purdue needs Donna Gill involved in their offense.
The 3 losses by Purdue were to Ohio State, defending Big Ten co-champions with Iowa, and #1 ranked Louisiana Tech, and #6 Texas. I don't think there's any question that we are looking at an NCAA tournament team in the Purdue Boilermakers.
No doubt about that. And I think that the Big Ten will have 3, perhaps even 4 teams in this year's NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Southeastern Conference is the Rolls-Royce of women's basketball. Only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and in fact, they did not call it. Apparently, they got the shot off in time. Crowd is groaning, saying it was still in the hands of the shooter. Shea hits, and that brings the crowd even more to its feet in anger.
Purdue very quickly looked to make a long pass down to Joseph as Gill threw a baseball pass 2/3 the length of the court, trying to take advantage of the fact that Shea had penetrated into the lane. But unfortunately for Purdue, Shea really hustled to get back.
Sherry Swartout apparently didn't see the clock. She allowed Joy Holmes that 3-pointer, and it makes the difference. What had been a 7-point lead is now at the break 10 points. And the Boilermakers are happy. They're 15-3. Michigan State 8-10, and we will return in a moment.
Get ready for a special Sports Illustrated.
In check, and there is able to draw a foul and will head to the line.
The scoring for Purdue has been balanced in the first half. Actually, all 5 of their starters have scored well. Purdue is shooting about its percentage for the season, about 48%, while Michigan State is not shooting well. They're shooting only 35%. Michigan State's gone to the free throw line well, gone 10 times, hitting 8 of them.
Michelle Joseph comes into this game only a 69% free throw. If she could bump that up a bit, she would perhaps widen what is about a 3 points per game scoring lead in the conference.
Those 11 turnovers by Michigan State in the first half have been very expensive for them. Not only were they lost offensive opportunities, but they turned into Purdue points.
11-point lead before a crowd of more than 3,000 here at Purdue.
Good pressure defense by Purdue, and that usually sets up backdoor cuts.
Which that one was, but it didn't work to Marie Williams, and up with it is Madsen.
It's important for Michigan State to start this half strong. They're down by 10 points, and they need to start these first 3, 4, 5 minutes with a lot of emotion.
Joy Holmes off balance, and a rebound to Taylor.
They could cut this lead in half in these first 3 or 4 minutes. They'll make a real ball game of this.
We remind you that Purdue's most comfortable style is a running game. And Michigan State would like to have Purdue slow it down. But Purdue strong on the boards today. Williams misses.
The backcourt for Purdue has produced 13 points as opposed to only 6 for Michigan State. Eileen Shea needs to get on track for Michigan State. She's resting on the bench right now, and I have to think it's because of that bronchitis that she's suffering with.
Gill misses. Rebound to Dana Walker.
Dana Walker shows a lot of promise. She's going to be a fine forward for Michigan State. Very athletic young lady. 6'1", sophomore from Cincinnati.
And there she goes. Nice move.
She's a versatile forward. She can score from the inside, but she's most comfortable penetrating. It's what she likes to do best.
Well, she has her 3 points per game average.
She scored 12 against Stanford, so she can certainly score well. She had 9 rebounds against Stanford, so she can go to the boards too.
Stanford, a top 5 team. As the West, kind of like the Midwest, is starting to make games on the traditionally strong southeastern corner of this country in women's basketball. Turnover to the Spartans. Nobody picks up Taylor, but her air ball falls short. And the crowd reminds her that it hit nothing. Nice baseball pass to Joseph, and she'll shoot as she is fouled by Swartout, number 41.
The Michigan State team stayed and watched to see where the ball was going to go, so they watched the baseball pass as it was being made from the baseline rather than sprinting down court, and the guards were trapped down in the lane. It left Swartout, who is the power forward, to chase Joseph down the court. She tried to contest her, but she got too much of her own.
Penn State at the moment ranks 22nd in the nation, and its coach, Renee Portland, said this: about Michelle Joseph, and I quote, "That child is a game winner." And that was in a post-game news conference after Joseph had barbecued Penn State for 28. She has 10 on the afternoon. Her team's lead is 11, and full court pressure by Purdue.
Well, she wasn't the Big Ten Freshman of the Year for no reason. She is really a bona fide scorer. She played on the junior national team last year. She's a preseason All-American and a preseason Big Ten player.
In and out and back in for Eileen Shea. Only 4 points for her today.
She really needs that. She's averaging 16, the team's leading scorer. She only had 2 at halftime. She needs to get on track.
This game has been played primarily in a player defense, man-to-man defense. An attempted alley-oop to Mateen is a little bit strong, come out front by Gill.
It's important here for Michigan State to go through its passes several times to create some offense.
Can Carlotta Taylor catch up? No. Joseph with the left hand, and Joseph has a dozen.
That takes the lead back up to 11. Michigan State had a chance to cut that lead down to 7 or even 6 with a three-pointer. They just threw the opportunity away.
Dish off by Taylor, and a foul is called, and the basket's going to go by Mayo. The crowd is groaning a bit, saying that the foul occurred well before the shot was attempted.
Well, Mayo is giving a clinic today. She's looking for the passes, and the thing that Carlotta Taylor likes to do is to penetrate in the lane. Then she looks for Mayo. Mayo has had a very good game today, and without her, Michigan State wouldn't have scored many points.
And only 12 months ago, as a high school senior at Detroit Cass Tech, she was completing what would be a career 3.7 grade average. Misses here and gets it right back. Taylor almost loses it. Nobody picks her up, and she drops it. And Michigan State just refuses to roll over. First points of the day for Taylor.
It's very important for Michigan State to try to hold Purdue so that they can cut into the lead. They're executing well this half on offense. They need to do it on defense now. They're playing a good defensive end right here.
Gill. Three-pointer for Joseph. Would have been her second one of the day. Joy Holmes has it. By the way, Holmes ended the first half with a three-point shot. It is the first three-pointer of her career.
It took the steam out of the Michigan State team, too. As they left the court, their heads were down.
Yep. Nice job. Good strength by Holmes. Gets a foul called on Dana Walker. Holmes to the free throw line.
One of the points of emphasis again this year is that line of verticality that the offensive player owns. And if the defensive player doesn't extend the arm straight up, but instead inhibits the jumper, she'll be called for a foul. And that's why Bill Stokes called the foul.
3 years ago at Mansfield High School, the only Big Ten school that recruited this young woman was Purdue. No one else was after her, and she has been one of those who has come to full bloom here in West Lafayette. First team All Big Ten last year, and no reason to think she'll not repeat this year. Timeout called. It is a 9-point Purdue lead, and we will return to Mackey Arena.
The airbag. If it's good enough for Mercedes, why not your car? Only Chrysler Corporation has a driver's side airbag standard on every car it builds in the U.S.
Every detail means a lot to me, so I can't stop for minor arthritis pain. I used to take aspirin, but today it's Advil. It gives me hours of relief, yet Advil's gentler to my stomach than aspirin. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Folks who use Tartar Control Crest have a few things to say about their cleanings.
Wonderful.
Great.
Marvelous.
That's it?
You should care.
Beautiful.
For me.
Because dental cleanings are easier with Tartar Control Crest.
Thoughtful night. Yeah. It's paradise. Woo! It's what I love to see.
So use the toothpaste more dentists recommend.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. Tartar Control Crest, the dentist's choice, is hard on tartar and easy on you.
All right.
Beauty, excitement, adventure. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art. And with this art test from Art Instruction Schools, you can find out if you have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. So to get your free art test without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number now. Call 1-800-633-3400. That's 1-800-633-3400.
ESPN gives you a spectacular courtside view of Big Monday, slam-jammed with color and excitement. Check out the sparkling sights and sounds of electrifying shootouts all season long.
What a big basket! Oh, what a move! Welcome to college basketball, Big Monday!
Seton Hall tries for their first win ever against Syracuse at the Dome. Then Northwestern battles Purdue on Big Monday, live on ESPN.
Tonight's Big Monday triple header here on ESPN will have Seton Hall at Syracuse in the Big East. Seton Hall has never beaten Syracuse in the Carrier Dome. That will be followed here in the Big Ten by Purdue and Northwestern. Purdue, of course, with a surprising 2-game lead in the conference, a surprise team in the nation. And then from the West Coast, Cal, Santa Barbara, and Santa Clara. That will be midnight Eastern time live. It all starts with Seton Hall, Syracuse at 7:30. Big Monday. And it is a big afternoon here with Purdue Pete, the mascot who has seen his Boilermakers protect what has been right around a double figures lead much of the afternoon. 41-32, Michigan State trying to get back in it. Carlotta Taylor with the ball, looking underneath for taller teammates, and there is Sherry Swarthout, one of them. Good strong move, simply done, but nicely done over top of Mateen. 9 points for Swarthout, who averages 11.
Equally significant to the goal was the fact that Shea handled the ball twice down the floor that time. She needs to be involved, whether it's scoring or passing. Notice how the defender is staying off Holmes. One, to keep the ball out of the middle, but also keep her from driving, because she does that so well.
Foul's going to be called on Purdue's Terry Morin, number 4. Well, look at this half and how Michigan State has jumped from 35 in the first 20 to nearly double that thus far in this one. 15 minutes remain, by the way. But there's the quick turnover, and again, it is Joseph outrunning the field and going down as Walker tries to catch up.
It's the turnover that is the statistic of the game. It's the difference between the two teams. The fact that Michigan State doesn't get to shoot enough.
Lynn Dunn wants an intentional foul and a 2-shot foul. That's why the crowd is roaring in support of her.
Holmes is known for her steals. She had an assist that time from Joseph. And as Joseph brings the ball down the floor, she's not the least bit reluctant to take the ball into the basket. Nice pass ahead by Holmes and an excellent take it to the basket drive by Joseph. Strong foul that time by Dana Walker.
She has just made her first free throw to get her 13th point. This is her second, which would widen the lead back to 9.
She has a beautiful shooting motion. You can see why she averages 22 points a game.
And why, as a high school senior, she averaged 35 points per game.
What a dangerous place to get the inbounds pass against that pressure right down against the baseline.
Shea, the veteran, knows what to do, though. When you've got that many gold shirts behind you, you keep running. They lose the opportunity. Nice pick by Swarthout. And Eileen Shea gets 3. We mentioned before that Madsen of Purdue has the school record with 5 in a game. Well, Shea has Michigan State's record with 5 in a game. She has a dozen today.
The pick and roll is one of the most fundamental plays in basketball. Shea did an excellent job coming around Swarthout's screen. She doesn't need but a step to get the shot off.
6-point game, Norland. Well, so much for that. Joseph right on cue, expands it to 8.
She's dangerous from the perimeter if you sag off her, and she's dangerous to drive if you get too close. Carlotta Taylor needs to take the ball into the paint using her quickness to pass off to Mayo. And she seems to be content to stay out and let the defense get its room.
Well, what's it going to be? Moving pick offensively or defensively? It's going to go all against Purdue. Dunn groans. Number 4, Terry Morin groans. So does 3,000.
Well, the screen is set by Moore. And Terry Morin just puts her head down and wants to fight over it, but instead she just pushes against Dana Walker, and the foul is called on number 4, Terry Morin.
Had the markings of a bullfight there.
Well, would you rather have Lynn Dunn upset with you because you didn't fight over, or have the official call the foul?
Coach will accept that foul, you're saying, right?
Yes, I do.
Shea looking like she's warming up a bit, even though that 3-pointer misses. And Mateen chases it out of bounds, so Michigan State will keep it, but not until Madsen reports in for Morin. There's Madsen.
Well, it's obvious that Karen Langland is looking to get Shea involved in the offense here in the start of the second half.
Dana Walker out to Eileen Shea.
Michigan State's offense is spread wider than it has been all day. Almost to the sidelines.
Good job by Williams of keeping her balance. The shot goes haywire, and Holmes with a board. What a pair she and Joseph are. And there is Madsen as still another perimeter threat.
Carol Madsen loves to stay behind that three-point arc. She's averaging almost 6.5 points a game, but it's the three-point shot that she specializes at.
8 today for Madsen.
She hit 5 for 5 against Minnesota, scoring 19 points in that game.
So Michigan State had gotten as close as 6 just a minute ago. Now it's back to 11. Walker forces it up and in. Basket will count. Foul on Donna Gill. Nicely done by the Spartans.
Dana Walker's penetration could cause some real problems for the Purdue defense. Her quickness against Gill's strength is sort of a mismatch because she can beat Gill. And if she takes the ball up strong here, Gill is trailing behind. But that's an excellent drive by Dana Walker. She's going to be a fine player for Michigan State.
She started the first 3 games only until Sherry Swarthout had recovered fully from that bad knee that we talked about.
And Dana Walker can score. She had over 1,000 points in 3 seasons in high school, over 1,000 rebounds in high school.
Jane Calhoun and Stacy Kryza are in, and out go that woman, Rhonda Mateen, and behind her, Donna Gill.
Well, the depth of the Purdue bench is one of their greatest strengths, and Lynn Dunn's not afraid to use 9, 10, or even 11 players, unlike Michigan State that has only 10 players rest, and they just don't have this kind of depth.
Yep. Especially in the post. Again, Purdue has a half dozen post players and had 4 of them foul out against Texas. Nice simple dish, and Calhoun with the heel of her hand just kind of rolls it up and gets her first points of the day. Joseph misses a steal. The
One of
lead
the
is
things
10.
we need to say about Michigan State, though, is that they've had 2 players go out to injury, and they have 2 others waiting in the wings who will be with them next year.
Yes, good eye for what's going to be at Michigan State. Shea has another year herself, only a junior, misses here. And omnipresent Michelle Joseph rebounds, passes, scores. Holmes overshoots Kryza.
Well, she overshoots her trying to take it inside, and that's what Lynn Dunn is looking for her perimeter to do. Oh, notice how Kryza's now backing off anymore, because that quickness will catch you.
And Walker, I don't think, an outside threat, so that may be a wise defensive move.
Well, Lynn Dunn is as fine a defensive coach as there is.
Nice move by Swarthout.
And boy, they're not any more hard-nosed than Swarthout either. See, power forwards who can penetrate like that are such an unusual threat. Makes her very valuable.
She has 11. 8-point game. Lynn Dunn is at court's edge. Karen Langland way back at the other end, just leaning against the piping. That will be short by Madsen. Rebound to Calhoun.
Well, the Michigan State team was watching that rebound, but not Calhoun. She was ready to go play.
Zone defense now, by the way, for Michigan State. Penetrated by Holmes. Holmes has 13.
She's a beautiful athlete. She's so quick, so strong. That one dribble, and she can cover a lot of space.
Well, Joy Holmes grew up with 4 brothers.
She learned to fight for everything she had.
Eileen Shea Long, rebound Calhoun. And Madsen has Holmes ahead of her. And didn't see Carlotta Taylor coming up from behind. 10 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game.
Williams has not been very much involved in this offense either, Chuck. She's predominantly a role player for Michigan State as they look to get the ball to Mayo, Shea, and Swarthout. Nice pivot by Mayo.
Got underneath Jane Calhoun, 14 for Mayo, who had 10 at the break.
Her best shot is a step around the defender rather than trying to power it over because she's just not that strong. But she's quick, so the one step she can get past most defenders.
The Purdue lead is 8. Jane Calhoun, team's best scholar, former high school class valedictorian. Tipped out of bounds by Swarthout of Michigan State. And I think we're going to have a timeout called. With 10 minutes even remaining, Michigan State isn't letting go. The Boilers are fighting for
Snow, incredible snow.
You are psyched, huh?
It's our first trip to America's premier ski resort. Hey, what do you think? Black, huh? Yeah. I can see you working the main lodge tonight there in the romantic glow of a roaring fire. Your dandruff takes its toll. Dandruff? 'Tis the season for the flakes that don't melt. I shampoo every morning. Shampoo till spring with an ordinary shampoo. Won't work like this. You use Head & Shoulders. You don't have dandruff. Nothing gets by you, does it?
Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
I watched what I ate, worked out on my Easy Glider, and lost 75 pounds.
This is actual footage of Keith's home video showing his dramatic weight loss. All across America, people have found that 20 minutes every other day is all it takes to firm all major muscle groups and lose weight aerobically.
I'm using my arms, my shoulder, my back, my tummy, my thighs, my legs. I get it all.
Dual resistance allows you to adjust tension for both legs and upper body.
I have tried bikes, jogging, even racquetball, and Easy Glider is definitely the best.
And this handsome unit folds down quickly for easy storage.
Call toll-free like I did to shape up and slim down with Easy Glider.
Call toll-free 1-800-225-8400. We'll bill your credit card 3 easy payments of $19.95 each. You get a full 60-day home trial with a money-back guarantee. The total price, $59.85 plus $9 shipping and handling. Call 1-800-225-8400 now.
Eileen Shea is not only the team's leading scorer, but she's second in assists. Nice pass into Mayo. Mayo makes a very good pivot, uses her quickness to get past Calhoun for a good power shot. She's really been the scoring key for Michigan State, having 14 points already today.
Her career high, Sharonda Mayo's, is 16. 10 minutes left in the game here in Mackey Arena. 3,000 on hand. 52-44, Purdue leads Michigan State and has possession of the pumpkin. Joy Holmes, with just 1 second left, bangs in a three, and what was nothing but a desperation shot. She backpedals with a big smile on her face. She has 16.
Money players can do that. Money players or go-to-it players, anytime there's a second on the shot, they can score from anywhere. I don't think she knew that the shot clock was so low. The crowd really told her of that with their oohs and ahs.
Shea misses. Nice pass ahead. Good look to Stacy Kreiser. She's able to pull it up. The pass came from Terry Moore. And Purdue is getting hot. And what seconds ago was only an 8-point lead is now 13.
Turnovers are so very costly. That's a 4-point play. It's 2 points Michigan State gave up, 2 points Purdue scored. That's 4 points.
Holmes, who is second in the Big Ten in steals, tries there to improve her ranking. Just misses. And into the game, number 12 is Erica Brooks for the first time. She's a 5'11 junior out of Evanston. And there goes one of the more contagious smiles in the sport.
She's a charismatic player, gets the fans behind her all the way.
So again, Michigan State, which just as it gets up off the rope, seems to take another punch to the midsection.
Caused by the turnovers, too. It's very important that they score here.
Just before the buzzer, they get it back. So the action continues.
They're just standing, though. They're not moving. They're not hurrying to get into their screens.
Foul on Brooks of Purdue.
Looked like Swarthout fouled after she was fouled, and the Purdue fans obviously thought that the Swarthout foul was a little more significant, but she was pushed by Brooks as she dribbled past her, and as she charges into Calhoun, the fans react. Smart play by Swarthout, in that her teammates seemed to just be standing. She just decided to take it to the basket.
And the officials determined that she was on the way up with a shot, so Swarthout is going to be able to shoot 2.
Erica Brooks has a rather famous brother who's not a bad basketball player, Delray Brooks.
Yep, there she is. Probably learned it best in the playground at home. Delray is a former Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana. Enrolled briefly at Indiana University, then moved on to Providence. You see a lot of that in college ball, it seems, Norlin. A genetic code that gets more than one of the siblings into the college sport.
That's a great workshop when you've got one sibling that can teach the other in the backyard. Nice place to have a clinic. Michigan State's defense has picked up a little bit here, but they need to create a turnover or have a couple of transition baskets to give them some emotional score.
3 seconds left. Calhoun hears the crowd. Oh, count it. She is fouled. And when it needs to go right, it consistently has all day, and that's why you see the smiles. This is a team that is about to record perhaps the university's best record ever in the sport. They're thinking their first Big Ten title ever, and the dream is to enter the NCAA and pierce the Final Four. Calhoun. Happy days are here again.
You got that. Calhoun is an excellent, strong forward. Her pivot was very strong, and it just faked out Mayo. Mayo was caught with the inexperience taking the fake.
5 points off the bench for Calhoun, who is still smiling back at the defensive end. And why not? The team's lead is now 14. Purdue coach Lynn Dunn had said a couple of weeks ago, right before Purdue would upset Iowa in Iowa City, traveling is going to be called. She said great teams, and in the Big Ten in the past, that's been Ohio State and Iowa, have known when they were going to win the game. She said that's where we want to get. It appears that Purdue is learning when it's going to win.
Neil's Remodeling has provided the finest in quality home remodeling to more than 1,000 satisfied customers. Bathrooms, kitchens, family rooms, and room additions. Neil's Remodeling services are totally professional from start to finish. Neil's Remodeling can turn your house into a dream home. Visit our new showroom featuring wood mode cabinets. Neil's Remodeling is at 5981 Harrison Avenue, or call 574-7880 for a no-obligation estimate at your convenience.
Last week, Channel 9 News showed you the problem with workers not working. But the problem is more than pothole deep. This week, Channel 9 News explores some of the solutions. The Channel 9 News I-Team takes you to Phoenix, Arizona, where they're solving some of the same problems. The workers are getting back to work, and the taxpayers are saving money. Channel 9 will show you what Cincinnati can learn. Watch More Than Pothole Deep, A Search for Solutions. Tonight at 5:30 and 11. When you want to know what's really going on, there's only one place to turn. 9 stands for news.
ESPN gives you a spectacular courtside view of ACC and Big East basketball, slam-jammed with color and excitement. Check out the sparkling sights and sounds of the electrifying shootouts all season long.
What a pass! I'm out. Get a TO, baby. Go get him, big fella. Rock and roll. It's party time now.
Dikembe Mutombo leads Georgetown against Pitt. Then North Carolina battles NC State.